The day everything burned, Ethan Walker was invisible. That was the easiest way to describe him. He sat in the last row of the classroom, near the window where the paint was peeling and the glass always felt cold. Other students talked, laughed, and passed notes. No one talked to Ethan unless they wanted something or wanted to hurt him. He was 14 years old, thin, quiet, always tired. The teacher wrote math problems on the board, her back turned. Outside, the sky was clear and blue. It looked like a normal day. A boring day. Ethan wished it would stay that way. "Hey, fire-breathing freak." The voice came from behind him. Ethan stiffened. Mark Dawson. Big. Loud. Smiling like trouble. Mark kicked Ethan's chair. "Hard. Move," Mark said. "You're in my space." Ethan slowly stood up. He did not answer. He never did. He had learned that words only made things worse. Mark laughed. "Cat got your tongue?" The class snickered. Ethan felt his chest tighten. His heart beat faster. A strange heat began to rise inside him, deep and sharp, like something waking up. He pressed his lips together and tried to breathe. Slow, calm, normal. Mark shoved him. Ethan fell against the desk. Pain shot through his arm. The heat inside him exploded. Before Ethan understood what was happening, he gasped. And fire came out. Real fire. A bright orange flame burst from his mouth and hit the floor in front of him. The tile cracked. Smoke filled the room. For 1 second, the entire class went silent. Then everyone screamed. Students ran for the door. Chairs fell. Someone tripped and cried out. The teacher turned around, her face white with fear. "Fire! Get out!" she shouted. Ethan stood frozen. His mouth burned, but not with pain. His chest felt like a furnace, glowing and alive. Flames danced across the floor, licking the legs of desks, but they did not touch him. He looked at his hands. They were shaking. "What did I do?" he whispered. The fire alarm screamed. Water sprayed from the ceiling. The flames died down, hissing like angry snakes. Security guards rushed in. Someone grabbed Ethan's arm. "Don't touch him," another voice yelled. They pushed him into the hallway. Students stared at him like he was a monster. Some cried. Some recorded him on their phones. Ethan felt small, scared, alone. Police cars arrived within minutes. Then fire trucks. Then black vehicles with no markings. Men in dark suits watched him with cold eyes. They took him into a small room. White walls. One table. One chair. Ethan sat down. His hands were cuffed, but the metal felt warm, almost melting. Outside, news helicopters circled the school. Inside the room, the heat inside Ethan grew stronger. He closed his eyes. Images flashed in his mind. Firestorms. Wings. A sky filled with shadows. He gasped and opened his eyes. "What's happening to me?" he said softly. No one answered. Far above the school, something shifted. Clouds twisted into strange shapes. The air grew heavy. Birds fled the sky. Satellites picked up massive heat signatures forming out of nowhere. In places not seen by humans, ancient beings stirred. Eyes opened. Scales moved. A low, deep sound echoed through the clouds, too powerful to be thunder. Back in a room, Ethan felt it. A pull. A call. His heart beat in a new rhythm, slow and strong. The heat in his chest felt right. Familiar. Like home. Outside, people looked up as the sky darkened. Something huge moved inside the clouds. Ethan stood up. The cuffs snapped apart and fell to the floor, melted and useless. The men in the room stepped back in fear. Ethan walked to the window. High above the school, shadows circled. Not planes. Not helicopters. Wings. Massive wings. The clouds split open, and the world changed forever. Ethan whispered the words without knowing why. "They're coming." When the sky answered, the sky did not darken slowly. It snapped. One moment, it was gray with storm clouds. The next, it felt heavy, like the world was holding its breath. Wind slammed into the school building. Windows shook. Sirens wailed in the distance. People looked up. Then they saw it. The clouds began to twist, folding into massive spirals. A deep red light burned inside them, like a giant eye opening in the sky. Someone screamed, "That's not a storm." Ethan felt it before anyone else did. The heat in his chest surged, no longer wild, now sharp and clear. It moved with purpose. It pulled him forward like an invisible hand. "They're close," he whispered. Inside the room, armed soldiers aimed their weapons at him. Their hands trembled. "Stay where you are," one of them shouted. Ethan turned. "I don't think I can," he said. Outside, the sky split open. Not with lightning, with fire. A massive shape burst through the clouds, followed by another and another. Dragons. Not stories. Not dreams. Real. Their wings stretched wider than buildings. Their scales reflected fire and steel. Each beat of their wings sent shockwaves through the air. Cars flipped. Trees snapped. Windows shattered across the city. People ran. Some fell to their knees and prayed. Others simply froze, unable to understand what they were seeing. The largest dragon roared. The sound was not loud. It was heavy. It crushed fear straight into the ground. The dragon lowered its head and spoke. "We have found him." The words echoed inside every mind. Not ears, minds. Inside the school, soldiers opened fire. Bullets bounced off dragon scales like rain. The dragons did not attack. They descended slowly, carefully, like kings arriving to claim a throne. Ethan walked outside. Flames curled around his feet, but did not burn the ground. His eyes glowed faint gold. The soldiers backed away. "Sir, he's not human," one whispered. The largest dragon landed in front of Ethan. Its head alone was taller than the school. It looked at him, then it bowed. Every dragon in the sky followed. The ground shook. Humans watched in horror and silence. A dragon, bowing to a human boy. The dragon spoke again, its voice deep and ancient. "Flame air." Ethan swallowed. "I don't know what that means." The dragon's eyes softened. "You will." Suddenly, the air screamed. A bolt of dark fire shot from the sky and struck one of the dragons. The dragon roared in pain and crashed into the street. From the clouds emerged other dragons, their scales black, their eyes cold. The leader snarled, "He must die." The sky exploded into war. Fire clashed with fire. Ethan stood between two worlds, human fear behind him, dragon fury above him. The heat inside him reached its limit. Ethan raised his hand. The fire obeyed. A massive wall of flame erupted into the sky, forcing both dragon sides apart. The world went silent. Ethan's voice shook, but it was strong. "Stop." Every dragon froze. Ethan realized the truth. They did not fear dragons. They feared him, and the power inside him was only beginning to wake. The blood they tried to bury. Silence ruled the sky. The dragons hovered in place, frozen by Ethan's command. Fire burned in the air, but did not move. Even the wind seemed afraid to breathe. Ethan lowered his hand slowly. His heart pounded, not with fear, but with shock. "I did this." The golden dragon spoke again, its voice calm but heavy. "Your blood has awakened." Ethan shook his head. "I'm human. I was born here. I go to school." You were hidden," the dragon interrupted. "Protected." The dark-scaled dragons snarled from above. "He lies," one of them hissed. "The boy is a weapon." The golden dragon's eyes burned bright. "He is our future." The clouds opened wider. A vision formed in the sky, glowing like fire trapped in glass. Ethan saw another time. A burning world. Dragons fighting dragons. Cities turning to ash. Humans screaming as the sky fell. The golden dragon's voice echoed through the vision. "When our war nearly destroyed all worlds, we made a choice. We sealed our strongest blood inside human children. Weak bodies. Hidden lives." Ethan felt pain in his chest. "So my life was a lie?" "A shield," the dragon answered. "If you had grown among us, you would have been hunted." The dark dragon leader roared. "And now he stands exposed." Without warning, it attacked. A spear of black fire flew toward Ethan. Before humans could scream, the fire vanished. Ethan had caught it. His hand glowed white-hot. The dark dragons froze. Ethan stared at his palm. Slowly, he crushed the fire into nothing. "I don't want to fight," he said quietly. The golden dragon lowered its head. "But war wants you." Military jets screamed across the sky, launching missiles. The dragons moved instantly, some shielding the city, others burning the weapons out of the air. Humans watched in terror. Ethan turned back toward the school. Smoke, broken walls, sirens. This is my fault. His chest burned harder than ever. The golden dragon spoke softly, only to him. If you stay here, Earth will burn. Ethan looked at the dark dragons. They were smiling. They wanted him to choose wrong. Ethan clenched his fists. No one decides for me. Flames wrapped around his body, forming wings, not dragon wings, not human, something new. The sky trembled. Ethan rose into the air. Both dragon sides pulled back in fear. The dark dragon leader whispered, "It is becoming more than we planned." Ethan looked down at Earth, at humans, at home, and understood the truth. The power inside him was not sleeping anymore. It was growing, and soon it would demand a price. The world turns against him. The world did not celebrate Ethan. It feared him. News screens everywhere showed the same image. A human boy floating in the sky, wrapped in fire, with dragons kneeling around him. The headlines were loud and cruel. Monster child, human dragon weapon. End of the world has a face. Ethan watched the screens in silence. He was inside a military base now, deep underground. Thick metal walls, bright white lights, armed guards at every door. They're afraid, Ethan said softly. A general standing across from him did not deny it. You could destroy cities, the man said. You already scared the planet. Ethan looked at his hands. Flames flickered between his fingers. I didn't choose this. But you have it, the general replied. And that makes you dangerous. High above Earth, the dragons argued. The golden dragons wanted Ethan protected. The dark dragons demanded his death. Ancient laws shattered under fear. One golden dragon broke formation and descended toward the base. Release him, the dragon commanded. Missiles launched. The dragon screamed as fire tore through its wing. It crashed miles away, shaking the ground. Ethan felt the pain like it was his own. He screamed. The base alarms exploded. Flames surged through the hallways, melting steel, bending walls. Soldiers ran as the ground cracked beneath their feet. Ethan rose into the air. This time, he did not ask the fire to come. It came on its own. Outside, dragons clashed in the sky again. Firestorms lit the clouds. Ethan saw humans firing everything they had. He saw dragons burning cities in panic. This was not balance. This was chaos. No more. Ethan roared. His voice shook the planet. A shockwave of fire expanded outward. Not burning, not killing, stopping everything. Jets fell from the sky, unharmed but powerless. Dragons froze mid-flight. Silence returned. Ethan hovered alone. The golden dragon spoke carefully. You are breaking the old rules. Ethan's eyes burned brighter. Your rules started this. The dark dragon leader laughed. Look at him, it sneered. He is no longer human. That word cut deeper than fire. Ethan thought of his mother, his school, his name. I am human, he said. But even he wasn't sure anymore. The fire around him twisted, forming armor of flame. The sky cracked with thunder. Ethan realized the truth. Every time he used his power, the line faded. Human or dragon. He could not be both forever. And the world was pushing him to choose. The price of becoming. Ethan could feel it. Every breath was heavier. Every thought slower. The fire inside him no longer waited for anger or fear. It lived in him now, steady and awake like a second heart. He stood on a floating stone platform high above the clouds. Dragons circled around him in silence. The world below looked small, distant. The golden dragon spoke gently. You are changing. Ethan already knew. He could hear dragon thoughts now. Feel the heat of the sun in his bones. Smell fear from miles away. And worst of all, some human feelings were fading. His laugh, his hunger, his sleep. They want me to leave Earth, Ethan said. Yes, the dragon answered. If you stay, both worlds will tear you apart. Ethan clenched his fists. I didn't ask for this power, but it chose you, the dragon replied. That night, Ethan was allowed one visit. His mother stood behind a glass wall. Her eyes were red. Her hand shook. You're so tall now, she whispered. Ethan smiled weakly. I'm still me. She reached for the glass. Promise me you won't forget. The fire inside him flared painfully. I promise, he said, but the flames did not agree. As he turned away, a memory slipped from his mind. His favorite song, gone. Far above, the dark dragons prepared for war. The boy hesitates, their leader growled. Strike now. The sky split open. A dragon army descended toward Earth. Ethan felt it instantly. Fear, pain, death. He looked back once more at the planet. If he fought as he was, Earth would burn. If he transformed fully, he would never be human again. The golden dragon bowed. Choose. Ethan closed his eyes. Fire exploded around him. His scream echoed through worlds. The choice that burned the stars. The sky above Earth was no longer blue. It was fire. Dark dragons poured from the clouds like living shadows. Their roars shook mountains. Oceans boiled where their flames touched the surface. Cities screamed. Human weapons failed. Missiles turned to ash before reaching their targets. Hope collapsed faster than buildings. Ethan felt every death. Every cry burned inside his chest. He hovered alone above the planet, wrapped in swirling fire. His body trembled, not from fear, but from restraint. The golden dragons formed a shield around Earth, but they were losing. Now, the golden dragon said softly, or never. Ethan looked at his hands. They were no longer shaking. They were changing. Scales formed across his skin, glowing like molten gold. His bones stretched, cracking with light. Wings pushed from his back, massive and terrible. Pain tore through him. Memory shattered. His school, his room, his mother's face. Slipping. No! Ethan screamed. He fought the change. The dark dragon king laughed. Resist all you want. Power demands payment. The enemy dragons attacked together. Earth would not survive another minute. Ethan made his choice. He stopped resisting. Fire consumed him completely. The sky split open, not with darkness, but with light. A new form rose from the flames. Not human, not dragon, something more. Ethan's voice echoed across the battlefield, calm and absolute. Enough. Time seemed to slow. Every dragon froze. Every flame bent toward him. He moved. With one motion, he shattered the dark dragon king's fire, breaking ancient magic older than stars. The enemy dragons screamed as their power vanished. One by one, they fled. Silence returned to the sky. Ethan looked down at Earth. Alive. Safe. But distant. He tried to feel human joy. There was only warmth. The golden dragon approached and bowed deeply. You have saved us all. Ethan did not answer. He could no longer remember why that mattered. What fire chose to protect. The world waited. After the battle, the sky cleared for the first time in days. The sun returned, weak but real. Cities still burned, but Earth was alive. Above the planet, Ethan hovered in silence. He no longer looked like a boy. His form glowed with quiet fire. Wings of light and flames stretched behind him. His eyes held stars instead of fear. Humans watched from screens across the world. Some cried. Some prayed. Some aimed weapons. No one spoke. The golden dragons gathered behind Ethan, lowering their heads. The war is over, the golden dragon said. Come with us. The universe needs you. Ethan looked at the endless stars. He could rule. He could burn. He could forget. Below him, Earth turned slowly. A small blue world. Fragile. Loud. Brave. Something moved inside him. A memory. A voice. Promise me you won't forget. Ethan's fire flickered. He descended. Slowly. Carefully. He landed outside the largest human city. The ground did not burn beneath his feet. Tanks aimed at him. Soldiers shook. Leaders shouted orders that no one followed. Ethan raised one hand. The fire faded. His wings folded inward. Scales cracked and fell away like ash. The light dimmed. A human boy stood where a god had been. Thin, tired, breathing hard. Gasps echoed. Change back, someone whispered. Ethan looked up at the sky. I choose this world, he said. The dragons froze. You will grow weaker, the golden dragon warned. One day, you may lose everything. Ethan nodded. Then I will lose it as a human. The dark dragons were gone. The war was ended, not by domination, but by refusal. Ethan turned back to Earth. Humans slowly lowered their weapons. A child stepped forward first, then another. Hope spread faster than fear. Far above, the dragons vanished into the stars. Ethan walked home. He was not a king, not a god, not a weapon. He was proof. That power does not own humanity. Humanity chooses what power is for, and the fire chose to protect.